What's going on, guys? I'm back and I finally have some time to work on this car a little bit. So yeah, let's have some fun. So today I want to replace the intake manifold gasket. Let me show you guys. So I got one of those like poly plastic looking intake manifold gaskets on this, and I'm not sure if you guys can see, but mine is starting to turn colors. It's starting to turn like a brown. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but yeah, it's starting to turn color. So I'm not sure if that's getting brittle or if it's just turning a color, but either way, again, I'm just trying to make this something I can drive around and feel like it's not going to leave me stranded somewhere or have an issue. So I'm going to replace that, and I got one of these. So it's a replacement, same thing, and it's from SpeedFactory. Now this is one to fit a GSR head. So yeah, follow me along and we'll replace that. And I know last time I left off removing this exhaust manifold and turbo setup, and I wrapped the manifold, and that's still here. But as far as the turbo, again, I took it to a shop and they're working on it at the moment. So I'm not going to say too many details on that at the moment because I want it to be a surprise for all you guys. So let's get going on this. So my first step, guys, is taking this bumper off. And again, it's only because I want to take this intercooler piping off, and for me to do that, it's kind of a pain. So I got to take this lower intercooler tubing off to get this one off. So yeah, let me work on that and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to remove these 4 Phillips screws, and I think those are number 3, so let me get a number 3. And those just look like this. Okay, it's got like a rubber washer on the bottom. Okay. And did I say 4? I meant 5. All right, my next step is removing 2 10mm bolts. And those look like so. Okay, so I think that takes care of the bottom half. Now I got 2 more on the outer end of the bumper. Now let me move and I'll show you guys what they look like. Okay, so I believe there's just 2 more screws on the corner inner part of the bumper here. It's kind of hard to show you guys, but I'm gonna try my best. I'm sure a lot of you guys know how to get to them, but I'm just gonna show you just in case. So what you got to do is just peel this out. Like so. And inside there, hopefully you guys can see. Hopefully. On your left corner there, you see a Phillips screw. You got to take that out. I'm going to take it out. And yeah, we'll go to the next side. Okay, so I got the other side out. I didn't show you guys just to make this video a little quicker, but once you get both sides out, you're able to kind of push down and pull this out. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm gonna move this aside and I'm gonna show you guys where those screws were attached. So give me a sec. Okay, just so you guys get a better picture. So that's the location where the screw goes into, just like so. Alright. Alright, so got the bumper off, and my next step is removing this lower intercooler pipe off. So I just gotta loosen both clamps up, one there and one there, as you guys can see right there. And we'll get this out. So I got that intercooler piping off. That went a lot smoother than I thought it was gonna go, so that makes me happy. Now I gotta take this top one out, and yeah, I already got this going. So this is a vacuum hose for the blow-off valve, and there was a zip tie, so I cut that off. So let's pull this off. Okay, so set that aside, and I got one clamp that I gotta loosen up. So let me do that next. I'm gonna set you guys down. And I'm using an extension so you guys don't get in my way. Okay. And hopefully this goes smooth, because this can be quite the pain also. And of course, yeah, this is always fun. Okay, so I'm gonna take this hose clamp off the bottom of the pipe here with that coupler off, just because I think it'll make it a little easier. I'm gonna try to pull it from the bottom. Okay. Okay. I got this guy in the way here. I'm gonna remove this guy here, and hopefully it makes it a little easier for me to pull that pipe out. So I'll be back. Okay. Now let's see if that worked out. Oh yeah, that did the trick, guys. I'm so happy. Oh, that's so nice. All right, so now we're gonna work on the intake. I believe my next step is gonna be removing this throttle cable. So for me to release this or remove it from the throttle body, I think I gotta remove or loosen up this nut here and rotate it back, and I should be able to slide that out and take it out of the throttle body. Try to show you guys what that looks like. There you go. So I'll show you guys that process. Let me just grab some stuff and I'll be right back. Okay, so I already loosened this up, so I'm just gonna back it off some. That should slide right out like so. So that just slides in and out like that. And I should be able to unwrap it and slide this out. There we go. And that's out of my way. Alright, so what I'm going to do next is disconnect this wire harness. So one for the map sensor, and the other one for the throttle position sensor. Okay. Move those out of my way. Next is going to be this vacuum hose for the booster. And that's pretty self-explanatory. Just a clamp. Loosen it up. Move it. Break it loose. Okay. Give me a sec, guys. I gotta help out. Alright guys, sorry about that. Wife came home with some groceries, so I had to help out. But yeah, I pulled off the vacuum hose that belongs to the booster, and now I'm going to remove the fuel line, and this is the line right here. I already broke it loose, so I'm just gonna open that up slowly, and hopefully not too much fuel leaks out. There we go. Nice. Okay. Just set to the side. Alright, so the fuel line is off, out of the way, and what I'm going to work on next is this coolant pipe, and that's just got a hose clamp, as you guys can see, and all you got to do is just pull it back when you get that hose clamp out of the way. So I'm going to work with that off camera, just kind of, again, make this video not so long, and yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, so I got that water hose disconnected, and I think we're all done with this side as far as like wire harnesses and stuff to disconnect. But oh yeah, and I also disconnected all the injectors, so that's out of the way. And what I'm going to do next is take this fuel return hose off and take it off the intake. But I got two more things to pull off after I pull off this fuel line, and that is the line for the boost gauge, and I got one more connector plugged in that I got to take off. But that we're almost there. After that, I'll be able to start taking the bolts out of the intake. Okay, clamp is loose. Now I remember when I put this on here, this thing was kind of hard to push on, but it's coming off just fine. Maybe I spoke too soon. Perfect. Okay, so that's loose. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave that on there. Hopefully it doesn't come off. Okay. So like I said, I got a boost line here that I gotta remove, and it's got a zip tie on it, so I'm just gonna cut it. Okay. And then I got one more connector. I need a little step ladder to kind of get some height and reach that. Give me one sec, guys. I'll be right back. So hopefully you guys can see that I took the connector off. So that's out of the way. Boost line's out of the way. And next step is taking the, what I thought bolts, they're actually nuts, off the intake manifold. So if we look at the new gasket, so it goes like this. This is where the heater hose is. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 on the bottom, and I want to tackle those 4 first. So let me do that. I'm going to try to show you guys where they are, and then I'm going to do that off camera, just because it's kind of a hard spot to show you guys what I'm doing. So okay, so I'm just going to try to show you guys a quick little view of where I'm supposed to be going here. But as you can see, hopefully, those are the nuts that I got to get to. And again, I'm not going to show the process, and only because you know, it's a real tight spot, and I'm just going to get in the way and give you guys a bad shot. So let me work on that a little bit. Okay guys, so I got all the bottom nuts out, and I went ahead and took the top ones out too, and it's all loose, as you can see. But I did notice I forgot one of the water hoses that's connected to that area too, right where the other one was. It's a smaller guy here. I'm not sure if you guys can notice or can see, but this guy here, I believe is in the way. So what I'm going to do is just take that off. Again, I'm going to do that off camera, just because, again, you're not going to be able to see what I'm doing because it's kind of a tight spot. So let me take that off, and then I'll show you guys once I'm done. Okay, I got that pipe off. Now I'm going to set you guys down, and we're going to take that intake manifold off carefully. And then we'll look at the intake manifold gasket. Hopefully this goes smooth. Okay, let's try this again. Here we go. Yes. Now that fuel rail has got a bunch of fuel, and I'm not trying to spill all of it. Oh God. Forgot one more. The vacuum line for the blow-off valve. Now, at a quick look, this looks really discolored. Check that out. Looks like it's been through some heat. So let's pull that off and just see how soft or whatever it is. Okay. feels okay. There it is. Look at that. Okay. Wow, okay. And this is where the coolant passes through. Now it looks like they added a little bit of RTV on this. Interesting. Okay. Why? Not sure. I don't, unless there's something scratched up on the intake. And here's the intake. As I said, looks like they added a little bit of RTV here. Interesting. But it wasn't on both sides, it was just on this one side here. Okay. Not sure why that was done, but the rest of it looks like it's clean. And we'll keep going here. Okay, taking a second look at this gasket here. And again, I noticed the RTV on the one side, but nothing on the other. So I wonder why they did that. But I believe I'm going to do the same just to prevent anything from happening, I guess. I don't know. It's just the first time I've ever seen that. So, I don't know. Just keeping an eye out. Trying to learn. Maybe you guys have seen it, but that's my first time. Alright, so let's open this new one up and see if it's the same one or if it's the right one. So that's the old one. This is the new one. And they match up perfectly. And let's see if there's a difference in thickness, and I don't see it. It's the same thickness, okay? And the only thing I see, and this is just probably just nothing. On certain points on the old one, you can see that it comes to a peak at this point here. On the new one, it just doesn't come to a point, it's just round, more round. But yeah, that's the only real difference I see. So let's just keep going. I don't know if I have any RTV, but if I don't, I'm gonna have to do a run, pick some up. But I'm gonna do the same as they did. Add a little bit around the water, around this area where the water comes through, just in case they knew something I don't. But I don't see why that would make a difference. But either way, I'm gonna do that, and I might even do it on both sides, just so I don't have an issue. But yeah, let me just look for some RTV if I don't have any. I'm gonna go pick some up, and then we'll keep going. So I'll be right back. All right, so I ended up putting some RTV on the head side of this gasket, and I also applied a little bit on the intake manifold side. So this brand of RTV wants you to apply a little bit, 1/16 or so, assemble it while wet, and then snug up the work area, let it dry for an hour, and then come back and tighten it up to whatever specs you want it to. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to install that gasket, install the intake manifold, snug it up with the nuts, and then I'm going to let it sit for about an hour or so. I'm not going to show you guys that process. I'm just going to show you guys after I've installed it. So, all right guys, so I got the intake manifold back in, and like I mentioned, I was just going to snug up the nuts, and that's what I did. I'm just going to go eat something, come back in an hour, and we'll go from there. All right, I'm back. An hour has passed, and so the next step is going to be torquing those down, and I'm just going to hand tighten those. I'm not going to use like a torque wrench or anything. I'm just going to, you know, get to a point where I feel like it's tight enough, and then go from there. So I'm going to start in the center, as I mentioned, and working my way out. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this without you guys, again, to speed things up. I got that all torqued down, ran my harness for my injectors, and yeah, my next step is replacing my boost gauge line, vacuum line for the booster, and my return for the fuel. But I'm going to use a little bit of YouTube magic, so here we go. 1, 2, and there it is, guys. All back together. Now let's do the other side. All right, and for this other side, I got those two hoses, the throttle position sensor and the map sensor to finish up. And I believe that's pretty much it for this side. Oh, and the little filter I took off the valve cover here. Again, I'm going to use some YouTube magic for that. So here we go. We're going to try this again. Here we go. And there it is. Back together. So like I mentioned, those two hoses, the throttle position sensor, map sensor, throttle cable. What else did I do? Oh, fuel line. I forgot to mention that. Put that back on there. But yeah, that was pretty much it. Now I'm just going to work on the intercooler piping. So I got to put this piece back in first, and then I'm going to work on this last one down here. Before I do that, I am going to try to clean it up a little bit, because it is kind of difficult to clean when it's in there. All right, give me a sec, guys. I'm going to clean it up and then reinstall it, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. Okay, finished with the intercooler piping. And God, I hate touching that. It takes me so long to get them on there, and only because it's got to fit in that hole just right, or else that pipe is leaning against the wall, and I'm afraid it's gonna make a hole in that coupler right there. Last thing I gotta do is throw this bumper back on. So let me do that real quick, and I'll be right back. All right, so the bumper's back on, and yeah, I'm happy that I did that again. Just something less I got to think about. But let's just see if this thing can take some bend, because the other one seemed like it could bend. So let's see if this is still pliable. Oh yeah, it can still bend around. Doesn't seem like it's gonna crack either, so yeah, seems okay. But either way, I'm glad I did it. So again, I got it from SpeedFactory, and mine is the GSR version, so that's the part number. So make sure you get the right one for yours if you're looking to do yours, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I know, like I said, I left off with the manifold and the turbo, But that's coming, that's on the way, that's in process. That turbo's getting looked at. Once I get the turbo, I'll put it all back in. And I think I'm gonna leave it that way because I want to start the car through the winter. I don't like that it just is off the whole time. I like to start it every once in a while, but I'll keep making more content for you guys. There's other stuff that I need to do, but yeah, I'm happy that that I finished this up. Thanks for watching, guys. We're getting close to the holiday here. Let's see here. It is the 23rd and it's 11 o'clock. But yeah, guys, again, happy holiday, happy new year, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.